Okay, Coach. Well, from a place that's officially been recognized as the loudest venue in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium right here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Kansas City Chiefs. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be taken very short. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
Ready, black 22.
Jameis now on first down. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And right away he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs first time he touches the football, and he drops it on the ground.
So many times we talk about quarterbacks and taking care of them early to get them in the flow with safe throws, right? But with a runner, there is no such thing as a safe run, right? Right out of the gate, you're going to be in some traffic. You got to take care of the ball, and he didn't do that.
Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time. And into the red zone now, and Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points, so you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes, make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there. With his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the second most in a single year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken short. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Well, a man open down the middle of the field and up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Winston. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. To the air again with Winston. And he's got his man, Hilton. 15 yards, 1st down, Atlanta.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Winston gets this one to Le'Veon Bell. Call it a gain of 5, and it's a 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Jameis to throw it. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Off play action. Lowry, he's going to go for a big play downfield. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes quickly as well.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Winston now. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
An opening there on that 1st down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
First and 10 at the 21-yard line.
10-2, sir.
Come on. Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move.
Bravo.
We got three, fellas. We got three. Check. Crunch. 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 No. Let's go.
On first and 10, Lowry. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Watch the twist. Mike, 55. Right there in the middle, 55.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
Yo, go.
Motion to the backfield.
Hey, Echo.
55. Mike, 55.
Cut 5.
Looking to throw. Lowry.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle.
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
And now the throw here is incomplete, and with that, we come to the end of the first quarter of play. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10.
Ready.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Landon Collins. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
On first down, Lowry, he's going to float this one deep. And this is caught inside the 5. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken very short. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Let's convert.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Here we go.
To throw, Winston. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw is Winston. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And, Jameis intercepted a third time. Derwin James with a pick. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Throwing on first down. Lowry. And he will find his man on the outside. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, Lowry going up top. And this is caught inside the 5. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Even. Under 10.
Back to the ground, this time with Bell. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. The Falcons on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Winston, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And look at this. It's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And this defense will take over right at midfield. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Lowry. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Oh, nearly picked. Almost intercepted, but he couldn't hang on, and it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Switch.
Twist on travel. On the ball. Be driven.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Going for the deep ball. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Let's go.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Desmond King making the tackle. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal.
Matchbox lights. Hey, Haywood.
Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike. Ricky.
Mike.
Operating from the gun. Lowry. Eluding the pressure right toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Hey.
Mike 55.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. A great effort there. With touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Tucker with the extra point, and the rout is on here in this first half. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken short. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. And we're going to get a timeout. with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Ready, black 22.
Mike 54.
Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Let me go.
Final play of the half here. Winston looking deep for Hilton. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Baby, let's go. Let's go.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
Double dog, double dog.
Back to throw. Lowry. He's going to let this one go deep. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, but they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Here we go. Here we go.
Looking to throw. Lowry. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. A big play there for KC. 51 yards.
I can still hear it reverberate through this thick skull of mine. Crossing routes versus man-to-man coverage, it's a bad matchup for the defense. Those tend to work very well as they run away from a defender.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's 1st down on the other side of the field.
Kill. X3, 218, chopper. Ready.
From the gun, Lowry. And he finds Howard complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. 2nd and 5. And he's got his man on the out route. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down. This quarterback now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And that's going to leave him with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back.
55. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Lowry, pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Here's Winston. That's complete. It's Bell. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Ready? 525. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Nice.
On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. Caught here by Bell. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. 1st down, Winston. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. On 2nd and 10, Winston, and the catch made by Hilton.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. They'll throw again. Winston. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. I guess the last score wasn't enough for them. They want more. Here comes an onside kick. And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Here we go. 8, read, go. He don't know no better. Check. Hit it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Switch.
Hey, lock it. Sit.
Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
On the set.
Yeah, baby.
Shoot.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there. Becoming just the second player with 30 touchdowns in a single year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. And a good job here by the Falcons, their hands team, able to recover it. Well, there you go, just your everyday leading big, and you onside kick it with a lead. They got it. I mean, it worked, but interesting call.
I think because they have such a margin, they feel a little bit bolder about what they're doing. And it's not only just to try and increase their lead, but that's their way of saying we're in full control of this game, and we can kind of do what we want.
Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike.
Come on, D. 55's Mike, guys. 55.
No chance.
Hey, Zoo.
55, Mike 55.
On 1st and 10, Lowry. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
I got one.
To throw again, Lowry. And it's incomplete.
Thrown to the sideline and incomplete. Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Slam, slam.
22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber. Ready.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Mike 5-5. Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
Sponge. 6-6. Pull it high. Smooth. Now.
I got it.
Be grip.
On 4th down, Lowry firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is going to get the 1st down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Lowry. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. In for the score as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Chiefs' 44-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now this time he'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Landon Collins. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Dick. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12.
Man left, man left.
3 down. Hey, wahoo! 5.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat.
Hey, Delta. Hey!
Check Mike. Watch 55.
Let's go, let's go. Mike 55, Mike 55. Mike
Right up.
Operating from the gun. Lowry. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City 1st down.
Mike,
Hey, Haywood.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Sure.
55 to Mike. Check, 55 to Mike.
I'm trying to collect.
55 is Mike.
Go.
Yeah.
Hit it.
On 1st down, Lowry. A quick throw here, that's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a 1st down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Get it.
Throwing on 1st down. Lowry is going to let this go for the end zone and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now left side on the swing pass, and he is out of bounds inside the 30.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
Down to lose one. Kill.
5. Let's go.
On 1st and 10, Lowry. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
On the ready.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Get in the weight room.
Look at me. Zipper. Hey, seam 6.
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike.
You ain't got
Ready.
Throwing again, Lowry. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Now Tucker to add the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Makes the score Chiefs 52, Falcons 3. Justin Tucker set to kick off.
And all the Chiefs have it. So the onside kick is recovered. And, you know, I always thought, Charles, as someone who didn't play these positions, that going over the middle as a receiver or trying to recover an onside kick, those are two very tough things to do.
Takes a lot of fortitude to put yourself in that position, but you have to do it in order to help your team win.
Unable to recover it, it costs them. The kicking team gets the football here. The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. From the gun, Lowry, he's going to air one out. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Tucker now for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Next to score, Chiefs 59, Falcons 3. Justin Tucker set to kick off.
And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
And he's got this down to the 35. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Rush it. We go even. Hey, let's get into verses. Let's go.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Conklin, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jamal Adams. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. The 20. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt a dominating defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I don't care who you play, whether they're strong offensively or not. Just giving up.
And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
All day, baby, all day.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
On 3rd down, Winston. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Throwing, Winston. He's going to let it fly. He's got it at the 15. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for him. And this fake extra point attempt failed big time. Not only did they not get it, they went backwards.
Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare them
I was
to do
going to
that?
ask you,
What was
maybe
that?
they saw something on film, but do you see something on film with those to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hold, and someone kicking the ball through the post.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's go, baby. They turn over. Let's get that ball.
Here's Winston. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. T.Y. Hilton once again the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Chiefs, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll look to get back on track next